Remember when no one talked about artificial intelligence, and then suddenly it was everywhere? When did this even start?
Actually, that started back in the 40s. It started like with the idea of an artificial neuron that is a structure that simulates mathematically the structure of the biological neuron. You have a structure that simulates the dendrites, where the neuron receives the electric message. Then there you have some weights that are applied to that. So basically there it is a mathematical message, so it defines what message will move forward and what message will not move forward in general terms. These artificial neurons, mathematically they are quite simple. It's basically an approximation of a linear function.
Let's make that a little more relatable. Let's imagine you're trying to decide, should I go play outside? You're just naturally excited to go outside, and so there's already some positive bias baked in. But in this case, a few things come into play for a more rational choice. Is the weather nice enough? Do I have homework that I really should be doing instead? And are my friends out there? If the answer is yes, we'll set that input to 1. If it's a no, it becomes a 0. Today, it is sunny, you do have homework, and your friends are outside. Now each of these gets a little weight, like importance points. Sunlight is encouraging. Homework? Big no, especially with a test coming. Friends outside? Huge yes. Now we get back to the math. We multiply each weight by the value of that input, whether it was a 1 or a 0. Then we add the bias, because let's be honest, you're probably leaning toward going outside anyway. The result? 4. That's a big enough number for the neuron to say, let's go. And that's how an artificial neuron works. It takes inputs, gives each one a bit of importance, adds them up, and makes a decision. Simple stuff, but when you put millions of these together, that's when things get really smart.
If you combine multiple of these linear functions, you can actually approximate very complex functions. The idea of simulating the human brain. And that's when the neural networks appeared. So you combine several of these artificial neurons with simple functions, but when they are combined, they can approximate and, let's say, learn some very complex functions. In general terms, it's more like that. There's a lot of math behind it.